We're going to talk about 5 ways that you can take control of your time as a parentpreneur in 2024. Let's go. If you don't know me by now, I'm Will Mosley. I'm a father of 5 boys, ages 2 to 10. I've spent 17 years helping businesses start businesses just like you. The last company I worked for, I helped them generate millions per year, helped them build a school, built out trade shows at like the Hilton, stuff like that, from the ground up. Lots of good stuff. My promise for you today is once you leave this video, once you're out of it, you'll have 5 ways that you can take control of your time as a parentpreneur. So let's do this. So 1, I think this also really depends on whether you are a W-2 worker, are you a contractor, are you a entrepreneur, are you in between all this stuff? So I think the first is determining where you're at on this. Because when I first started this journey as a parentpreneur, because I've been doing business for a long time, but as a parentpreneur, I was working a regular 40-hour job. That was great, that was dope. And then I was doing like the kind of side hustle thing, and that is, if I'm being honest, that's one of the best setups you can have. I know a lot of you want to jump right into entrepreneurship and just kind of be like, I'm gonna quit my job and go straight into business. But if this was like an investment, if you're thinking about your portfolio, stuff like that, stocks, bonds, it's extremely risky. And I know you've heard this before, it's extremely risky to jump into like full-time entrepreneurship. I think you can be an entrepreneur, like a business person right now with your job. But the thing is that a lot of people get caught up on like, I'm going to make $1 million per year. I'm going to make I'm going to make this big amount of money, because my job is only paying me 50 or 60 or 100, whatever your job's paying you. But the truth of the matter is that when you start your own business, when you build up your own business, you literally, there's revenue and then there's profit. And everything in between that revenue, like you'll maybe take home some of that profit. So just because your business makes, $300,000 or $500,000 per year, that's still, you kind of take home almost the same amount as you would with this regular job. So I wouldn't say be in a crazy rush to jump into it, like jump full-time in it. But I do think that you can figure out a way to make it work with the current job that you have. Now, if you're a contractor, okay, contractors are they're a lot different. You have complete control over your time most times. The freedom of, you can work anytime, whenever, you're still working for something like maybe you're contracting for like Uber or DoorDash or anything like that, but you are trying to kind of move from that position and move up the ladder. You're trying to kind of, you have control over your time, but you're trying to move up. And then like lastly, you're full-time into this entrepreneur journey and you're realizing like, this is really hard, especially with kids, especially with all this stuff. There's so many things that I have to learn. So many people get into business because they want to do their craft. They want to perform their craft. Like, oh, I'm a designer, so I want to just design flyers. Or, oh, I'm a carpenter, so I want to, do stuff, with wood. But it turns out most times you get into business, but then you just become like the CEO, which is a completely different title than like the maker, the doer. And you're just having to do all these other business admin tasks. And then later on top of that, parenting. You're a parent at the end of the day. So you're right now, no matter what, you're still doing at least 3 things, probably 4, right? You're probably working a regular job, whether it's contract or W-2. You're trying to build a business because your business is not sustainable. That's reality, because bills got to be billed. Bills got to be paid. you're trying to build this thing for the future, for your income, your security, you're being a father or a mother, and then you're also probably like a husband or wife. Big things, lots of big things in there, and so it's a lot to juggle, time management wise. So depending on where you're at in this, I'm going to give you these time schedules that I had at each kind of stage of my journey. So when I was working New Human and doing 40 hours a week, I would go into office. I drive to Brevard from 8 a.m. and then I get there about 9, work there till about 5, leave, come home about 6, right? At that point in time, my goal was to be like a vlogger. I wanted to be like big time, like Casey Neistat vibes. And so what I would do is I pretty much during the kind of the early morning and kind of my lunch break, and then like later on in the evening, vlogging's a little different than like running your business. So I'll bring it back a little bit, but I'd find points in the time that I could shoot. I can just find points, whatever, figure out a problem that I'm having for the day, and then really, and this is really for most business people, what I'd do is I'd get up in the middle of the night. I'd get up from like 2 a.m. To like 5 a.m. and I'd edit. I'd build out the video. I'd edit the video, and so that would kind of be when I did it. And most time, and this isn't anything that you haven't heard, but like you're working for today and you're also building for tomorrow. And so it's a no matter what, this is it's a really big thing that you have to take on. And if you're already in it, you know what I'm talking about. But if it's something that you really want, then you should go after it. If it's not something that you want and you're kind of on the fritz about it, like I'm gonna tell you right now, like having a regular 40-hour job is dope. Like I know it's not looked at as like, the coolest thing, but here's what's crazy about working like a 40-hour job that pays you a paycheck. They for whatever reason in America, like they're like, yo, can you come in just 40 hours a week, please? That's all I need you to do. And then after that, I promise I'll pay you a paycheck every 2 weeks and I'll put it in your bank account. I promise every 2 weeks it'll be there. Automatically, right there. Also, taxes, cool, got you. PTO, vacation. That's a sweet deal. Entrepreneurship is none of that. You don't get that. And so be wary about like what you wish for when it comes to business, because business is this chaotic roller coaster that you're not going to be riding for a couple of days or a week or a month. Like this is years and years of this stuff. So if you enjoy having your time, it might be worth it just to be like, you know what? Is this like just like something I kind of like to do? Is this like a little hobby? Because it's okay to have hobbies. Like I got hobbies too. We got the magic cards here. We're here in this, but I'm not going to start a business around magic. I did think about it for a little while, because at the end of the day, you're going to invest so much time. You're probably going to be working, if not already, you're probably working anywhere from 60 to 70 hours, maybe 80 hours a week. And most parents probably aren't willing to make that sacrifice. I know that it frustrated me a lot, and I felt like kind of lost. I felt like, man, like I want to be the best dad I can be, but I also want to provide security for my family. And I just think that I had lady in the red dress syndrome. When I was I was great with my craft, great with all the things, but I wanted more. I think sometimes you need to understand what is enough for where you're at right now. You may already be making enough income right now to provide for your family, have fun, and your time is so valuable. So you may not even want to, this may be the video that's like, yo, I'm actually going to put this down, which I commend. I think that's great, because like, you don't want to be a mad entrepreneur, an angry, upset entrepreneur, because all you're doing is you're working one job and then you're working your business, and your business owns you. You don't own your business unless you have someone picking up the phone and you're just like, yo, do X, Y, Z, and you're over here. Like, until you're out, the business owns you. And is that something you want? Okay, cool. So 40-hour work, and we'll just deep dive down here. We'll get to 5, I promise. Working a regular 40-hour work week, you're probably going to be doing your stuff early morning, middle of the night, or late night, just depending on. Okay, nothing special about that. What I like to do is, when I'm doing, if you have a little more control over your time, right? If you're more like a contractor, you can kind of choose when you work. You still have to work. So prioritize the peak hours of when that work matters. So if you're doing Walmart delivery, or if you're contracting for XYZ, you know what the general business hours are for that job. Prioritize those first, and then work around the hours, behind that. So it may be that business starts popping up, around 11 or 12 p.m. It goes honestly until about 8, maybe 9. Again, another sacrifice that you have to make as a parent to decide, like, okay, is this the reality I want? Because if you don't work business, if you don't start your own business, you literally have all that time up until noon to hang with the fam, chill, do your hobbies, get on your boosted board, all that stuff. Like, you have that freedom. Time is beautiful. But if you are like, yo, I really want to run this business, I know I can do something with this, well, you're going to have your contract job, we're going to call that manager work. And then before that, I like to have at least 4 to 6 hours of maker work. And what's that? And this is not my own term, this is like from Alex Hermosia. Heard this, it works really well. Is like, I'll end up, if I want, that time, I'll probably get up around 4 a.m., wake up, and then from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m., I'll end up working from, I'll do the kind of the maker work. What's maker, manager, maker work's just like the important work to move your business forward. Whatever the business constraint is, all that stuff, that's what I'll end up doing. And then as far as manager work, whenever you're running your business full time, that contract work would really be considered manager work. But manager work is just everything else, that the minutiae, all the meetings, all the times, all the whatever. And a lot of times when you do contract work, you kind of are in control of your phone. You're all kind of in control of like being able to talk and podcasts, listen to audio, whatever, while you're doing the work. And that's a great opportunity for you to be able to, like, okay, I can schedule, like, while I'm doing this work, I can actually kind of schedule client calls or whatever, or make my calls either whether in between the workload that you're having or during, depending, you can just depending on. And that will allow you to close deals on the manager side, and on the maker side, you're building up the business, because there's so much stuff that has to go into it. There's so much time. Time is money. Like, time is your greatest asset. And so lastly, if you are just in like a bit, you're not working a W-2, you're not working a contract job, you have an LLC that you're running, a business that you're running, but you have no time. What you're probably doing is you're probably doing everything. You're the one-man band just running everything into the ground, and you're the bottleneck. And so what you need to do is learn how to be a manager, and then learn how to be a leader. And it's not, none of this stuff is easy. You'll continue to hear this. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not it's not the thing that you really, I don't know if you should even do any of this, because you're going to have so many scars. your business is going to beat you up. The client, you may have gotten into business because you're like, I'm going to get away from clients, or I'm going to get away from working for the man or the boss or the corporation or whatever. But it turns out for you to run a successful business, you're going to have 10, 100, 1,000 customers, depending on what you sell at what price point. Those are all mini bosses that can take your time, or like it could be a good partnership, but all that stuff, like the lower and lower that you sell the price point, the more mini bosses that control you. So you have a business that's controlling you, and then you have many clients that control you too. Is that what you want? Maybe. I don't know. Some of us are crazy and like to self-inflict pain. I don't know. I have an itch to build out businesses. I know it hurts. I'm crazy. If you are not that, if you are the person running your business and you're doing all the operations, you need to change your title from artist, musician, whatever the thing that you got into your business for. You need to change your title into CEO. Okay. If you are a CEO, you operate differently. You do things completely differently. You are not the person most times fulfilling all the work. It will be this way in the early beginning, but as you scale up, again, this is not my own model. Check out Alex Hormozy's stuff. He talks about this. There's a couple other people. But as you scale up, what you want to do is you want to figure out how to remove yourself more and more from the operation. And so you got yourself, then you get an admin, right? Tim Ferriss talks about how you can get a virtual assistant, or let's say you are making enough money, right? Just you look at the price point of what your time is worth, and then you figure out how to remove yourself more and more. So you got admin, then you got someone that's helping on like customer support or fulfillment, and then after that probably sales, finding someone that can help, that can do sales as well as you, or 80% as well as you. Then marketing, figuring out someone that can run your paid advertising, a media buyer. And then after that, that might be IT, that might be like Will, like someone that actually understands how to build out your websites and all the things, because you're going to want a lot of automation, XYZ, that stuff. That would be my recommendation, at least, for the first part of like just time management, like number one. And we got like, I don't know, like 5-6 more minutes, so I'll probably like rocket fire through the last 4 of these. A lot of times how I work, I'll go deep dive into something and then we'll kind of spitfire the last 4. So that's the first time, figuring out how to allocate your time. If you're that business owner, if you pretty much can work a 9 to 5, it's probably what you want to do, but you got to figure out how to remove yourself from that situation, right? If you're the contractor, you get to choose when you work, but you still have to work consistently and not give up your contract work, and then make time for maker time in the early morning or in the evening if that's what you want. I prefer in the morning. And if you're working a W-2, you might not even want to have a business. W-2's dope. Just do a W-2, and then you can either have a weekend work type of thing, or you can do like early morning type of thing. That's that. Number 2, what do I do as a father with my time? This is more speaking to the parent side. Okay. You might have feelings about like, man, I feel like I work so much and I don't really see my kids that much, and like, am I making the right decision? What should I do about, time with my wife, time with my family, time, how should I do that? The thing that, I don't think there's any perfect solution, but I think really the thing is that at the end of the day, especially like, and I'm not going to get like super deep in like, gender roles, stuff like that, but like at the end of the day, I think at least for me, I feel like I have this really big pressure of providing security for my family. Okay. And so if like the bills aren't paid, then we're going to be living a really terrible life. You know what I mean? You have like comfortable, and then you have like, if bills aren't paid, then XYZ happens. And we never want to get to XYZ. You know, I've been there, you know, I've gone through that, you know, several times. It's terrible. And so I think the thing is that you have to figure out how to not be like a square and work all the time, but also be strong enough to know when you just have to work. You know what I mean? Like right now, like I do anywhere from 6 to 7 days a week. You know, we probably run 70 hours a week on work, and that's a lot compared to like a 40-hour job, right? And you could, that 40-hour job that you could just have that. Like I said, you could just have that 30 hours with your fam. That could be the thing. Sometimes you don't need the business. Sometimes business just complicates things, makes things much worse. So really question that. Think about that if you're feeling that stress. But what I do, how I run my schedule is this. I'll tell you exactly how I run it for the kids. Hey, Matt. Yes, I got you. Let me see.
Here, one for you.
Oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you for the ice pop.
One for me.
One for you. Oh, one for me. Thank you, buddy. I love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Go play your game.
I'm watching the show.
Okay, cool. That got me an ice pop. Nice. So, how I run my schedule, and this will speak to kind of how I spend time with my kids, and it does change week to week or month to month because I'm crazy. I'm a crazy creative. But how it's structured right now is I start doing my contract work job at like 11. So I'll go from 11 to 8 or 11 to 9. Now, this job allows me I'm able to do my business work in between that time. So I'm able to do the business work and do the contract work through this time period. Okay, so I work that time. It's about 10 hours. And then I'll get home about 8 or 9. I'll have tablet time with my boys. That's like our one-on-one time. You know, got 5 boys, right? So two of them are older, 2 of them are kind of younger, one's baby. So I'll usually play video games or help learn how to, like what right now we're learning how to do game development with Eden. So I'll do that. The younger 2 really want story time, so I'll go do story time with them, play with them, hang with them, chill, and then go do date night with the wife, right? So we did Only Murders in the Building, all that stuff, chilled, hung, and then, hang with, the baby as he's going to sleep. Wake up in the morning. I'll probably wake up in the middle of the night because I'll have some sort of big idea. Maybe do a little bit of work, possibly. And then wake up, take the kids to school, and then from like 8 to 11 might be like working out, might be like some more date time, might be some personal time, all that stuff. We have like 2 more minutes on here. And so you just got to figure out where you can make consistent pockets of time for your family. You need to prioritize the security of your family, but make sure that you have something fun to do every time. 1 second. All right, so 3 more things. We have like 1 minute to do this. So the last 3 things that I'd say is rapid fire. 1, 2 time. I think using ChatGPT like to figure out different schedules, truly amazing. Do that. 2, removing everything from your schedule. Like remove everything from your schedule that's not important. And then 3, or then, this is really 5. But like number 5, be kind to yourself. Take care of yourself. If you have a hard day, burnout, all that stuff, treat yourself, do good by yourself. Hopefully I hit that promise of giving you 5 things that you could do to help better manage your time as a parentpreneur. All right, take care, guys. Peace. Oh, look, we have actually a couple more minutes, but I'm going to still peace out, though. You know, if you're still here, I remember it's not 25 minutes, it's 30 minutes. You're still here. Yo, we got a couple more minutes to hang, just a couple. Like we can just take a second to breathe, right? All right, so what have I been up to? Really quickly. This is the bonus part. You stay to the end. Put like the snorkel as a deep dive, like whales. You're in the deep dive. If you don't know me by now, like I'm a creative, and creatives are very, very like, we're very sure of something, and then all of a sudden on the next day we're unsure of something. It just like it's a fluctuating cycle. Call it manic. Don't know, but. I've been going back and forth about like the YouTube channel, about who I'm serving, all that stuff, and like I still don't have it right. I still don't know got the whole. I still don't have the whole thing down. Like one day I'll think I'll have it, the next day I'll be like nah, because it's like a big commitment. You know, it's like picking your wife. You know what I mean? It's a big deal. Big deal. Like once you commit, you gotta stick. And that's the same thing with business too. A lot of times you gotta commit to the business because you're jumping around the business. You're jumping all around doing all these different things. It's tough. It is a very tough thing. And I'm being real about the whole business thing. Like you might not actually, like you could just like hang with me and chill with me, but it might be that what you need for your time is to stop doing your business. Tim Ferriss, 4-Hour Work Week, really great one. Like check that out. I realize that I'm a person that needs to do something with my hands always. Like so I have something that I'm doing that's consistent. Like let's call that the contract work, just consistently flowing, doing its thing. But my brain starts to circle and I need other things to keep me moving and going. Which is why it's fun to work on the business and do the business thing while I contract. Because the contract provides enough money, right? But here's the thing, right? You want to double up your money and triple. You know, you want to be able to do that. But it really can be a life drain. Like I've had many arguments, I've had many like hard times, I've had many things where I'm like, damn, you know, am I doing right by this? And judging the pros and cons of it, but also once you go through that, realize like if you're not making enough money, like that's priority number one. Because when you don't have enough money, everything is tight, everything feels terrible, everything is just, you just are squeezed. So it's better to work and relieve that stress than lack of work. It feels that stress, but you have all the time to kind of think about how shitty of a position you're in. Like I said, been there, done that. All right, we're out of here. Thanks for hanging out, chilling in the deep end with me. Lots of things coming. Lots of things. No promises, but lots of things. All right, love you guys. Take care. Bye.